Time you reach this point and you're ready to sew your weft onto the lace. I just wanted to depict what this all looks like. You're literally just sewing right through your lace. So as you get over here, guys, you would be sewing right through the lace. Now, this actual technique that I'm showing you right now is on a video, like video number 27. And you would sew back the other way, XYZ. So I'm just going to put a few stitches in here just to make sure you guys see exactly what's going to happen once the hair is sewn onto this area. Okay, that's enough stitches. I just want to make sure that you see that we're able to sew right through the lace. So it's very helpful. So my client is very self-conscious. She doesn't want to have a braid that's sitting all the way back here and there's nothing under here, even though she knows that when I'm finished sewing, there's going to be tracks all over this. What she wants to do is feel a little more secure. So when we're done with doing her entire weave, we've sewn all her tracks in. We've got tracks everywhere. Once we're done sewing her tracks in, we would take the chin strap loose here. I take the chin strap loose. After we're done sewing all the weave in, we're now going to take this whole area because there's nothing to sew to underneath this lace right here. And we're going to flip all of this back. Okay. And then we're going to clean this area with alcohol. Then we're going to come in with skin prep. You should be using skin prep when you're using adhesive because it gets the skin ready before you're using adhesives and double-sided tapes. So then you're going to put your skin prep down. You're going to wipe that in and just let it air dry. And then you're going to come in with whatever your choice is, your choice of adhesive. If you want to only use double-sided tape, you can. Like the tape that we carry is really strong, and once you stick it down, it can stay there by itself without any liquid. So you could go with one row of the double-sided tape. So our double-sided tape comes in different widths. So like this one here is like 1/2 inch, and this one is 3/4 of an inch, and it also comes in 1 inch. But if we were to use this all the way across, we would have done all of that, and we would stick this right across. And this is an area, once again, that does not have hair, guys. Okay, so our tape would be able to go all the way across. All right, once we get the tape down, we'll just go underneath the tape and separate it. And then we will pull this down. So you got choices. You can go with tape alone. Tape is a couple of weeks. Okay. If you want tape alone and you want to be able to put it back down, that's why we're using the lace, just FYI. And then all the way across, and you're going to roll this whole thing down, and you're going to stick it right in place all the way across. Okay, so your client can feel completely comfortable that the weave that you've done, that's a full weave, is not going to move. Now, can I tell you that if we did this with this material, the thick one, would it move? You could only stick your finger underneath there, but it would not be moving around. It's just going to sit there because it's supported by the fact that you sewed tracks all the way around. Right. So even though I'm sharing with you the method of creation and base creation and attachment, you still need to know how to provide maintenance for this particular technique. So the client comes back in about 3 weeks. I like for my clients to come back generally 3 weeks after an initial install, so that we're not manipulating the base too much and moving things around. So 3 weeks later, she comes back. We're going to lay her down, and whether she actually has adhesive or not, we're going to utilize our chin strap. So when she returns, we're going to take a chin strap and we are going to put it along the side. So let me just first say, if my client comes in and she actually did not put any adhesives or anything underneath there, what we don't want is, while we're doing our shampoo process, we don't want it to fly back and just completely move all over the place. So what we want to do is, on the sides of the thick net that we just put across the front, we're going to go under there. We're going to clip right into it on both sides. Before we start shampooing, clip on it. And then we're going to hold it right under her chin so she lays in the sink with the chin strap connected to the two sides. I think it's really important. You know, a lot of times, like, we have a lot of instructional videos. The videos are not talking about the maintenance. We're talking about just how to do it. So that is why I'm super duper excited about doing a webinar tonight, because I'm able to give you guys a little bit more information on top of just the application process. This is actually a 2x6 closure. You could also be using a 3x4, 4x5, 5x5. There's so many different ones. If this area was braided away and we started with this lace here, you can actually just lay the lace right on top of the other lace base, okay? And when I come back, basically it's going to only show the lace closure, okay? Is grab a little piece of, remember the first material that we used, the strong small hole weaving net, the firm one. I would use a piece of that, and I would, when the client's braids are firm back here and there's nothing to hold on to on the sides, but she still wants a full sewn weave with the lace closure, you're now going to utilize the lace closure. You're going to lay it on the head and see where you want it to go. And then you're going to determine how far forward it needs to sit. So if her lace closure, and she has nothing here, needs to sit all the way down here, we're going to lay it where it's going to go. And now we're going to lift up underneath and see what's going on. So when we lift up under here, what we're looking at is, how far is the lace closure away from where the braid is located? Because when you're ready to attach the lace closure, it has to have something that it can hold on to from the front here up until the braid. So now we have to choose our elastic band against the skin here in the front and not allow it to want to pull back, okay? So this band is not ideal because look at it, it has too much work to do, okay? So the skinny one is not good. You may want to go with a much wider band. So what happens is, we're now going to place this band right underneath and sew it to the lace closure. And now I want you to see the difference with a wider band and how it's there. And now when I want to lay it, look at how it just lays. If these clients are getting these services over and over, they like these particular styles that we're doing, you guys need to move them into getting a DSW, which is a detachable sewn weave. So if you're just joining me, you know, for the first time or not, I created the technique, the DSW, and basically what happens is we literally lay a plastic cap. We'll braid the client up and we'll lay a plastic cap on the client, and then we'll lay the tape, and the client will hold the plastic in place and we'll lay the tape. But I would want to make these weaves a unit so that she can just take it off the next time she comes in about a month and a half or so. Not the next time, but she'll come for service. And when she's ready to take it off, like the time for her weave, she would take it off instead of taking it loose, and then we will put it back on.
Mary want to know if she could use a strip of netting instead of the elastic band. So I guess you want to know what is the benefits of the netting, the elastic band versus just using the net.
Oh man, Mary, that's such a good question. Let me come to that in 1 second, because you know what? I have material up here I meant to show you guys. And then when we're done, we would now have a full unit that has a frontal on it. So this is making a customized unit, not a wig, because it won't be something that comes on and off. So once we have this whole piece, our client would return, and then we would sit this whole piece on the client's head and we would start attachment. So this is a DSW, detachable sewn weave, And it's another way of you make double the money when you do a sewn weave, a detachable, than when you do a sewn weave. So you're going to charge at least like in the range of like the $400 range to make them one piece that can be attached and then removed and reattached. Okay. So sometimes baby hairs don't look natural, but here let me explain where you can make baby hairs look natural. It has to do with your pluck game. Basically, you need to pluck a lot of hairs out of the edge of your frontal so that when your clients are when your guys, which was using the cap and sewing the lace closure on, cutting out underneath and then attaching it. That was her. This is a DSW that just passed. So there are the dots once again to indicate where everything needs to go. So when you're dealing with a client with hair loss all the way back here, it can be hard to determine where the frontal should go. Okay, here's another client with the net is down first. The elastic band is thick and it's been placed. This elastic band ends up going all the way down behind her ear when it gets attached. Those are the Mika extension products. If you guys need anything, the kits are available. Now, I want to share with you guys clients that have hair loss, hairline hair loss. Sometimes I have this client who gets a wig and we stick her wig on with adhesive and double-sided tape along the back hairline. And that hair was shaved right under that braid, FYI. Because if you put it directly on her hair, it's not going to stick well. So she has that tape in the back and she has tape and adhesive along the front. And then her wig was placed on top. I am a weaving coach, as you guys know. I'm weaving and teaching all the time. I've been teaching officially since 2004 at trade shows, but I've been training people since way before that. So what I do is have a webinar situation like this one, and I'm able to let you get a client. And what you want to do is get your client who has hair loss, who was going to pay you anyway, have them to pay you, and then you transfer that to me, and I am going to work with you guys with the camera just like this. Your camera will be on, so would mine, and we get on the webinar, and I can coach you through for up to 3 hours for $199. So when I said to transfer, I went ahead and told you how to do it, because I already know that for some folks, times are hard. People are trying to figure out what they're going to do. But the thing is, once you get through how to do this and you put your hands in it and you work on a client that you're going to be working on anyway, and they get to see that you're progressing and that you got the right information, that client's going to trust you and they're going to be back. So you have them to make a payment, at least a minimum of $199, and then we get on together. We make an appointment between me, you, and the person who you're going to do, and we work through to get that weave done on that client. Okay, so I can see you, you can see me. We ask questions. That the whole thing is open. I'm open to doing that different times of the day. I'm a night owl, so we needed to do it in the evening. It's fine. If you also wanted to do it on a particular day in the morning or midday, we work out a schedule. Okay, so that's something you need to know. The next webinar is February 2nd, and you also need to know that there's a different set of webinars that we're doing, which is the women's conference. It's called WOCO, and it's all kinds of life topics that we need to be discussing and things we need to know about. So the next WOCO is the January the 19th. It's on next Sunday. So if you'd like to join that, please do register yourself to watch that. It's 5 different speakers, and we're going from personal development. We're going to talk about your life and your schedule and how you're going to operate moving forward. We're talking about how to make money on your phone. How to deal with your money is another topic. And then there's talking about cancer and going through that and all of that. And then there's social media. So that's coming up next Sunday if you'd like to join.